Okay, now in this video, what we're going to do is I want to show you just a couple of things here before we get started talking about the overview of the different strategies. And you're going to notice here on the right hand side, and everything else is blurred out, obviously. Um, you want to notice now, you'll see here that, I've got a get response ad. Now, that's important in terms of what we're talking about because we're eventually going to talk about something called retargeting. In other words, the reason that ad is there is because I've been visiting the get response site, right? Because that's part of what I use in my business. So you're going to be able to see this ad, and then you're going to see that, and I'm going to see this because there is a process that you'll be able to do too once you know some of the basics we're going to be sharing, that you can literally target a visitor who's been to a certain website. Um, One of the other things that you'll notice here is you'll notice, okay, here is an ad for elegant WordPress themes. Once again, it's a site that I have visited. Therefore, that is why that ad is appearing in my feed. And I think that you can understand how powerful this is. You can target people in Facebook based on the places that they have already been. And so we're going to show you where you can access what you need in order to do that. Now, the other thing is you're going to notice here in this particular ad slot, you've got something by a gentleman named Charles Kirkland. He has a webinar coming. So in other words, he can literally promote his webinar using Facebook ads, knowing that the cheaps are going to be quick enough or small enough, right? They're going to be cheap enough so that he attracts people to the webinar, and that's going to be well worth his while, even if he gets one sale. He's probably going to get a lot more than that, right? So these are some of the things that you're going to be able to use when you are doing, whether or not you're doing a product launch, whether or not you're doing a launch with as an affiliate. You'll be able to use some of these things in terms of being able to not only attract people into your marketing funnel, but also to be able to market to them over and over again. Okay, so let's talk about the product creation strategy here. And what we want to do is just kind of give you a little insight on the overall strategy. So we're talking about building a list with Facebook ads. So if you are a product creator, you should always be building a list. You should be building a list of people who are going to be interested in what you have to offer. This is an email list, obviously. And one of the ways you can do that is you can use Facebook ads so that you can build it quickly, find people who are interested. Now, of course, you can always still continue to do SEO, solo ads. You can still continue to do JV swaps. Those things are very effective. They might not work as fast as you want, and they might not necessarily bring buyers very quickly. One of the things you want to use Facebook ads to do is you want to try to locate and source buyers quickly, because if you can do that quickly, then the money that you're spending, you're actually going to make it back faster anyway. Now, of course, you're going to want to be able to create a JV page, right, and a special email list for your JVs. You're going to want to market your JV page with Facebook ads, right? So you should be getting your page out there, and you should be letting other JVs know, and you can advertise with Facebook ads. Now, we didn't have one to show you right then. We will show you one later on in the course where you're really going to have that ad on the right hand side that is displaying your JV offer. You're also going to create your affiliate contest, right? So that is going to be something that you're going to want to do. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to do with Facebook ads, but it is going to be something that you want to do. Now, here's the thing with, when you create a product, your goal should be to make your affiliates money. Why is that? Because if your affiliates are making money, they're going to promote your product. The more they promote your product, the more buyers they're going to bring into your marketing funnel. And yes, you might not make money on the launch where you recruit a lot of affiliates. You might not make as much as you'd like. However, your next launch will be much better because you're going to be mailing to directly to your list, right? So your goal should be to make your affiliates money. So you want to find the right affiliates. You want to give them the tools, of course, and you're going to be able to attract as many affiliates as you can by using Facebook ads. Of course, then you're going to want to retarget, right? You're going to want to use retargeting in order to bring them back to the offer if they come to the page or they express an interest but yet they don't buy. You want to bring them back to that page. You want to continue to show them that ad until they make the decision to purchase. That is the product creation strategy. So you can use Facebook ads effectively. Of course, there's some other things we're going to be talking about later on in the course, but it is a very viable strategy and a one that works much faster over time if you use them effectively. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video.